Coming to you live from the fabulous MediaPlex in downtown Windsor, this is a St. Clair College journalism presentation.
I'm Chanel Beckford, and you're watching MediaPlex News Now. Today, the world's first Bitcoin ATM went live in Vancouver. Bitcoin is the new trend in digital currency and is not controlled by a central bank. Canadian cash can be exchanged through the ATM into Bitcoins, which are then entered into your online Bitcoin wallet. Halloween is right around the corner, and the Scare House is giving Windsorites a chance to get their last scare before the season's over. Liam Higgins reports.
Windsorites wanting a good scare will be able to get their fix this year at the Scare House. Located at the corner of Tuscarora and Oled Avenue, Scare House is a haunted house that is going in its 7th year of business, encompassing roughly 30,000 square feet at its current location where it has been for 2 years. The Scare House has been at other locations such as the basement of the Holiday Inn on Huron Church Road and Bentley's Roadhouse located on Oled Avenue. The Scare House first began in 2006 when Bentley's was experiencing less customers during Halloween due to the mandatory law passed requiring Canadian citizens to have a passport in order to cross the U.S. border. Owner Sean Lippert thought he might as well get one more use of it. Since that decision was made, Lippert said business at the Scare House has only gotten better.
We'll see anywhere between, say, 500 to 800 people in a night, but on a normal or like a weekend or a weeknight, anywhere from 50 to 100, depending if it's at the beginning of October or near the end of October.
Those interested are encouraged to head on over to the Scare House for one last scare before Halloween is over. I'm Liam Higgins, reporting for MediaPlex News Now.
At Salute Espresso Bar, baristas are encouraged to participate in a monthly art program, but not with the supplies you may think. Sean Prevost lets us know more.
Coffee isn't usually the first thing you think of when you hear the word art, but Salute Espresso Bar is trying to create that image through their monthly latte art throwdowns. Dane Charles, owner of Salute, says he wants baristas to use the throwdowns as a way to express themselves.
So the idea behind the latte art throwdown is to try to just kind of bring the coffee community together and offer baristas a chance to practice the craft and actually kind of bring it to the forefront and let other people know what they're actually doing.
With a variety of coffee, brewing, and of course art styles, the competitions are sure to expose the local community to something new. Cameron Rankin, winner of the first throwdown, said he does the art because of what it can add to someone's coffee experience.
See like a little bit of extra attention paid to your own cup. That speaks to the client, to the person that's coming in to buy your product. So ultimately, client satisfaction got me into the latte art.
Well, some may like to grab their coffee and run, others enjoy the subtle things in their cafe culture. And with latte art, you're sure to get your drink with a little extra flair. From Salute Espresso Bar, I'm Sean Prevost, reporting for MediaPlex News Now.
Now let's head outside to the corner of Victoria and University to our weather expert, Mandy Matthews. Mandy?
We've had a bleak day without too much sun peeking through, but you can expect seasonable weather coming up. Tonight you'll feel the temperature drop to a +4, and I'll have your full spooky forecast coming up later in the show. Back to you, Chanel.
Thanks, Mandy. Soccer is becoming increasingly popular among children in Canada. And while young players and parents cheer for the sport's low cost and easy accessibility, the Ontario Soccer Association wants to increase the skill level of all players. Lubna Fawaz has a story.
Anissa Dionisi looks like any other 10-year-old finishing her homework, but look closely at her clothes. This is a committed and competitive soccer team goalie.
Well, my dad wanted me to try soccer the first year I started, and I just fell in love with the sport and I wanted to keep on playing it.
Anissa is not alone. According to Statistics Canada, soccer has become the sport of choice for Canadian boys and girls between 5 and 14 years old. And considering parents' view of the game as a positive physical activity at a relatively low cost, it's no surprise that soccer has ranked as the #1 sports activity for Canadian children for many years.
I think with soccer's good #1 because for the summer it's a sport that can be played outside, so you're also outside in the enjoying the weather. It's just for this area, it seems that soccer was one of the ones that was very easy to afford, and then also could fit into our lifestyle.
It compares well against other sports costing thousands of dollars just for year, like hockey. But as any other sport, soccer has its own requirements.
It's not quite a year-round commitment, but it's 8-9 months of the year. The kids have to be committed and also be motivated to want to improve, and that's what we try and push. We try and push the enjoyment aspect of it, the having fun, but we're also trying to develop skills, and kids that work hard, that want to improve and are having fun.
The Ontario Soccer Association has recently decided to end scorekeeping and standings for competitive players under 12. This will be mandatory across the province by 2014. It will be a big change for the players, though even now, Anissa Dionisi does not worry much about the score.
I'm not worried about if I let in a goal, my team will be mad at me, because my team understands it, and my coach always says, if you let in a goal, it's not just your fault, it's the whole team's fault.
Ontario's soccer officials hope by improving the players' skills, they improve the quality of soccer in this country. And maybe, just maybe, that will give Canada a shot at winning internationally. For MediaPlex News, I'm Lubna Fawaz.
The OCAA baseball finals were Sunday. The St. Clair Saints struck out the Durham Lords by the second inning and never let up. Nico Ocampo tells us how the Saints brought home the gold.
Only a year after winning the national tournament, the St. Clair College Saints upped their game, hitting the record books as the gold medal winners of the first Ontario College's men's baseball championship. The gold medal game Sunday. Crowds stacked the bleachers at La Casse Park, with local fans cheering on the home team and fans from Oshawa hoping for a big win from the Durham College Lords. Nathan Smidgy says college baseball is a great time for colleges all over Ontario to battle it out.
There's lots of different benefits. It's a tournament style, so that will help. Well, it affects pitching, I guess. You see the better pitchers come out, everybody plays harder.
The Saints fiercely climbed to the top of the tournament and finally brought down the Lords 5-2. Infielder Ryan Kirsten says that a year of hard work finally paid off.
Winning it is, with this around my neck, it's what you want. It's what you've been working for all year, and winning it is the best.
Kirstens was one of 5 who were named Tournament All-Stars.
This program, it's the best, like top-notch. Coaches, everything, management, it's really good, and winning this tournament just tops it off.
The Saints plan to keep their winning streak when they play against the universities later this month. For MediaPlex News, I'm Nico Ocampo.
The St. Clair College Sportsplex is almost done completion. Reporter Alice Hewitt tells us more.
St. Clair College continues to expand in order to better suit the needs of students. The Sportsplex is the newest addition to the St. Clair College main campus. It follows the creation of a similar Healthplex fitness center on the college's 10th campus. The Sportsplex will be 80,000 square feet and include a triple gym, the first of its kind for the province. The facility will also include an elevated walking track, a workout studio, an aerobics room, classrooms, and 12 team rooms. Over the next 10 years, all students enrolled at St. Clair will pay an additional $150 per year on their tuition to gain free access to the facility and its services. The fee also covers an additional free year of access after graduation. The project is expected to open in early 2014. For MediaPlex News, I'm Alice Hewitt.
Windsor and Essex County's most accomplished long-distance runner is Dana Pitoreski. She has run under the Canadian record for the half marathon, and John Trojanczyk spent 5 minutes with her this week.
Hi, I'm John Trojanczyk, and this is 5 Minutes with Dana Pitoreski. Dana is a native of Tecumseh and is the 2012 Canada Running Series female champion. What is your greatest athletic accomplishment?
Probably have to be running the Niagara International Marathon and being under the Canadian half marathon record. It was just one of those races where everything went right and felt great, and hopefully I have one of those again.
And is that record still there to be had?
It didn't qualify as the new Canadian record just due to the way that the course was shaped, but I mean, it was still a personal best for me, so that's good enough.
Okay. And what are your current goals and plans as an athlete?
Currently in the process of moving out to Vancouver to train with Richard Lee. He coached Dylan Wykes, who was the first men's Canadian Olympic finisher in London this last summer. So just being a part of that group and having actually a training group, whereas usually I'm solo, I'm really excited to make that change.
What is a typical training day for you right now?
Most days I get up at like 6 o'clock, go out for a run, probably 12 to 14K, go to work, and then some days I'll come home from work and run again, or I'll have a longer session that day, usually a day that I'm not working.
And what distance are you focusing on? Are you moving to the marathon?
Hope to move towards the marathon in the next year or so. It's something I've been looking towards for the last few years, but just kept getting injured. So it's still definitely a goal. I really hope to just get back to normal mileage and just have that be a possibility for me. But I mean, the main goal would be Rio 2016 for the marathon.
How does an elite athlete trying to be an Olympian, how do they support themselves in the time between marathons, between the Olympics?
You pick races that pay a lot and hope that you have some sponsorship support. It's hard to get funding with Athletics Canada unless you've run a marathon. Or if you've run a fast 10K, there's not really any support in between. So sometimes that's a challenge just because you're trying to train, you're trying to recover, but at the same time you do still have to find money. So unless you have some big bonus races, usually you do have to work, and that can sort of put a bit of a damper on recovery and training as hard as you really want to. So it's a bit of a difficult situation if you're just trying to have that breakthrough marathon, and until you get it, you're sort of it's just more difficult than like
So
if you're
for now,
already established.
For now, you'll still target some shorter races that with prizes to work, and then work your way up and try to break through.
Yeah, you still would want to race a bit just because, I mean, you can only race a few marathons a year at most, but obviously you can race more of the shorter races, and just sort of hoping that you have some good wins there that can help fill in the gap.
Okay, so the Canadian female marathon record that held for 28 years just fell on Sunday in Toronto. What are your thoughts on that?
It was a bit of a difficult thing to watch. I did want to be that person who broke it, but obviously Lanny and Krista have been gunning for it for the last year or so. So I knew it wasn't probably going to wait for me, but I just hope that in the next few years I can re-break it.
Thank you, Dana. I'm John Trajanczyk, and we have spent 5 minutes with Dana Pitorescu.
Since 1993, Border City Wrestling has come to Windsor. St. Clair College's South Campus held the organization's 20th anniversary on Saturday. We sent Taylor Desjardins ringside. Here's his story.
St. Clair College South Campus was slammed on Saturday, bringing in loads of wrestling fans. The 20th anniversary of Border City Wrestling brought in many different wrestlers, legendary and new, to the St. Clair College Gymnasium. Over 800 people gathered in the gym to watch the wrestlers battle it out. Well-known wrestlers such as Jake the Snake, Rikishi, and Scott Hall appeared at this year's BCW venue. Matthew McCausland, the ring crew organizer for BCW, said he is satisfied with how many people came out to watch wrestling.
Ticket sales were phenomenal. We are packed in there. We actually had to turn people away. I want to say about 50 people had to be turned away, unfortunately. We're very apologetic, but limits are limits.
McCausland also said St. Clair College is a great place to hold the event for many different reasons.
I love it here. The sound carries really well. The students here are great as far as helping with facilities and everything, but the actual facility itself, everything is phenomenal and top notch. Well, St. Clair College is it's a pillar of our community here in Windsor, and it's wonderful for us to be able to give something back to the community. It's a great way for us to help breed new people when it comes to production and video and all of that fun stuff. It's, there's not a lot of things that you guys can really get to do. Like there's concerts and things like that where they'll get to help out. But an event of this scale, being able to host something of this magnitude with this much to go into it, it's not easy to find.
Al Ruddick, a member of the audience, said he didn't hear about the event until 4 p.m. on Saturday and traveled from Brantford to Windsor to come see it. Ruddick said he has been watching since he was 6 years old and is a really big fan.
When I did, I found out there's autographs, Scott Hall, everybody that was here, Rikishi, a whole bunch of them. So I came in hopes to get here quick enough, but I didn't quite get here quick enough. So I had to end up settling for back row, and you never know, we might somehow see somebody and get some autographs. I'm hoping it'll come through.
McCausland hopes this event will continue for years to come and become bigger and better. Reporting ringside, I'm Taylor Desjardins.
Let's head back outside to Mandy for the weekly forecast. Mandy?
Well, the record low for today was set in 1965, where Windsorites suffered a minus 5 degrees. I know that seems cold now, but nothing looks like that in our 3-day forecast. Wednesday, we're looking at partly cloudy with a small chance of showers, a high of 15 and low of 6. On Halloween, there may be periods of rain throughout the day, but don't let that stop you from trick-or-treating, because you can expect fall temperatures all day, with the high set at 16 degrees and only dropping 3 degrees into the night. The sun will be setting around 6:30 p.m. For Friday, partly cloudy with a high of 13 and low of 9. If you'd like to find us, check out our website, themediaplex.com, follow us on Twitter @_Mediaplex, or like us on Facebook, MediaPlex Canada. From the corner of University and Victoria, I'm Mandy Matthews, and that's your Windsor Weather Report.
Thanks, Mandy. The popularity of craft beers is skyrocketing with a sales growth of 45% according to the LCBO. Windsor consumers had the opportunity to celebrate with a festival that allowed people to sample brews from across Ontario. Sean Prevost tells us more.
Craft beer is on the rise in Windsor. As more microbreweries open in Ontario, people are turning to craft beer as an alternative to those brewed by large corporations. To celebrate the craft, 2 residents have started their own craft beer festival. Adriano Chotoli, co-founder of Windsor Eats, says he wanted to give Windsorites a chance to try something new.
We're wanting to show them that a beer, especially through craft beer, is that there's a lot more flavor to be had with the beer, as opposed to the big corporate ones that are being brewed. A lot of the small batches that we have here from across the province, they really pack a lot of punch.
Moya Cornwall and visiting Torontonian Nick Lambert said craft beer is something different, and that's what drew them to the festival.
I'm always going to the LCBO and trying to find something interesting and fun and different to try, so hopefully I'll find a new beer here and start buying that on a regular basis. So it's a good place to try out some new stuff.
I guess maybe hoping to find something that other people don't know about. Find a hidden gem.
It's clear from the crowds here at the Craft Beer Festival that craft and microbrews are indeed increasing in popularity. So instead of going out and buying a beer bottle for one of your regular brands, why not try a craft brew? Reporting from the Walkerville Brewery, for MediaPlex News Now, I'm Sean Prevost. Cheers.
Windsor's own Storage Wars was held today. Based on the idea by the hit TV show of the same name, the auctions held at the Walkerville South Storage gave bidders a chance to buy items found in abandoned storage lockers. Stan Gore was looking for a deal.
This wasn't a good sale this time. They didn't really have a crowd, and the stuff wasn't the best in here. But you can't always hit luck. take a chance, see. That's all I'm doing.
I sat down with Stacey Otley, Employment Counselor for Employment Options, in this edition of 5 Minutes With. Hi, my name is Chanel Beckford, and I'm spending 5 minutes with Stacey Otley. Stacey Otley is an Employment Counselor for Employment Options. So Stacey, explain to those who don't know what Employment Options is.
Employment Options is an employment resource center. So we provide our clients with the tools that they need to help them find a job. So whether it's resume writing, practicing interviews, cover letter writing, things like that, we just make sure that they're well equipped to go out into the world and find a job.
Okay. And what does your job position entail?
What I entail, so I meet with clients individually and we set up a service plan together. A service plan is basically a plan with objectives that we will work on one by one and achieve them together. So it is a partnership, and I'm basically a mentor, coach, and counselor for my clients. So if they need help with anything at all, questions, whether it's employment related or not, I am there for them.
What is different about Employment Options than any other employment research center?
Okay, so Employment Options, for one, we are a bilingual service provider, so we do offer services in English or French. And another aspect about Employment Options is that we offer personalized services. So we do go through a service plan, like I mentioned previously, step by step, and at the customer's pace. So we will never rush into anything. We will just go at the customer's pace to make sure that they feel comfortable enough to move on to the next step.
And where is Employment Options located?
Employment Options is located on the corner of Wyandotte and Olette. It's right downtown. That's our downtown office. We also have another office in the east at Place Concorde. So we do have 2 locations to service Windsor.
Okay, and is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I would like to add the fact that Employment Options is a employment resource center, so it's not a job placement agency. So we do not actually take a cut from your pay.
Okay.
Okay, so whatever job that you get it. That is the pay. We don't touch anything. All we do is help you find the job. That's it.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Stacey. I'm Chanel Beckford, and this has been 5 Minutes with Stacey Otley. Women all over the world are using a variety of media platforms to tell their stories of struggle and empowerment. These stories aim to inspire women to better themselves and strengthen their status in society. Stacey Janzer reports.
By now, everyone has heard of Malala, the Pakistani girl who was shot by the Taliban because she was trying to go to school. But you may not have heard about Shazia Ramzan and Kainat Ria, her friends who were also injured that day. The 3 girls were recently reunited in Scotland, where Malala received an honorary master's degree from Edinburgh University.
My studies are going well. I go to school, I'm in year 10, and I'm doing GCSE now, and I hope that I would get straight A's.
They are still advocates for girls' education, and both Ramzan and Ria hope to become doctors in their homeland. International monitors say more than 3 million school-age girls do not receive an education in Pakistan. International child sponsorship NGO Humanium reports girls in Malaysia can be denied education based solely for cultural reasons. In Bangladesh, education is only mandatory for children aged 6 to 10. The report also noted that often girls were sexually harassed at school and in transit. In Somalia, 3/4 of children don't go to school at all. Many of those who leave school do so to marry, which often happens before they turn 15. Maria Kang, the name may not be memorable, but her picture seems to be. Maria put this photo up on her Facebook last month, and she has been a topic of conversation in many households ever since. Some people seem to find her dedication a motivational tool, while others accuse her of fat shaming. But with the title of her photo saying, "What's your excuse?" this self-proclaimed writer and fitness blogger seems to have chosen her words carefully. She's received plenty of feedback, both positive and negative. Here's what the Twitterverse is saying. Melissa says, "I was really turned off by her response statement. She was condescending. She was inspiring to me until she opened her mouth." Shay says, "She looks amazing. Fitness is her job. I'm sure she was fit during pregnancy too. No excuses to not go to the gym when you work at one." Greg says, "For the record, I give Maria Kang 2 thumbs up. Anyone who can look that hot after having 3 kids in 3 years is okay in my book." Jack says, "Hot mom Maria Kang is a self-obsessed narcissist, and yes, there's a reason humility is an ethical virtue." Kang has given an apology of sorts, saying, "What I will say is this, what you interpret is not my fault, it's yours." The University of Windsor is holding a series of discussions, Distinguished Visitors in Women's Studies. Topics included working women, body image, and recently, women's lack of roles within the media.
I want to be someone's wife or girlfriend. Or maybe one of the 5 friends who only talk about men and getting married. How about you?
Well, what else is there?
Speaker Nicole St. Martin and Tabby Johnson are both actresses and activists. They've been telling audiences that the issue is discrimination, but not against just one gender.
I want to give confidence to young women who will hopefully take that confidence and then give confidence to young men, because I am a firm believer, again, I will reiterate, that unless men are liberated, it's going to be really hard for us to be liberated. Because here's what I used to tell my students: we bleed 7 days and we don't die. That's how powerful we are. Just saying.
All of these strong women are presenting topics women may encounter daily. They're using media as a tool to bring to light topics we may not normally discuss. This has been a short presentation on a few issues women face in our world today.
Taylor Desjardins talks about the benefits of sleep in this week's Health Minute.
Do you wonder how many hours of sleep are enough for good health? Age and other contributing factors determine how much sleep you should be getting. If you are having trouble sleeping and don't know what to do to help improve your sleep, here are a few quick tips. First, you should try to go to bed at the same time every day, even if you have the day off or it's a holiday. This will train your body your sleep-wake cycle. Watch what you eat and drink before bed. You don't want to be too full or too hungry, because that will cause discomfort, which in turn will wake you up. Create a bedtime ritual every night that will tell your body to wind down, such as reading a book, listening to music, or taking a warm bath. The room you sleep in should be cool, dark, and quiet. Also choose a comfortable mattress, pillows, and bedding. According to MayoClinic.com, infants, toddlers, and school-aged children should all sleep 9 to 10 hours per day, and adults should sleep 7 to 8 hours. Finding what works for you will help optimize your sleep so you can be productive, mentally sharp, emotionally balanced, and full of energy all day long. Remember, the quality of your sleep is just as important as the quantity. I'm Taylor Desjardins, and this has been your Health Minute.
The 29th annual Coats for Kids campaign will be wrapping up at the end of the month, but there is still time to donate gently used winter coats to children who need them to combat the winter season. All donated coats will be cleaned free of charge and distributed between November 2nd to November 8th at a variety of distribution sites. Coats can be dropped off at a number of dry cleaners in Windsor and Essex County, LaSalle, Bell River, Harrow, and Leamington. For more information, check on our website at themediaplex.com. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Chanel Beckford, and you've been watching MediaPlex News Now.
MediaPlex News Now is a production of the St. Clair College Journalism Program.